art these days. Most of these paintings I did 5 or 6, 7 years ago, and they've just been laying in a drawer, and I finally got enough confidence in myself and in my framing abilities to actually take work that, you spend a couple weeks on painting a painting, and you don't want to screw it up by doing a bad frame job. So in any case, I feel pretty good about what I've been doing lately. I did these two paintings at the same time, and I framed this back then, which was 2011, so that's 6 years ago. And you can see that, well, it's foam core, so it's not wood. It's foam core for doing floor framing. Actually, the foam core. What the hell is that stuff? Foam core. People know what foam core is. It's a stiff cardboard. All right, foam core. It's the stiff cardboard that goes on the back of paintings. In any case, it was easy for me to cut up into strips and into whatever shape I needed to. So that was the reason I used it. It was easy to cut. And you can see what I did here. I did a couple layers there, and then the outside is all painted with sand. And you can see what I did here is I just painted the flowers and leaves with the sand itself on the frame. So fast forward 6 years, you can see that maybe you can't see, but in any case, it's about 2 inches thick here. It's 3 inches across here, and I did the same thing. I painted it with sand as the brick wall is behind it, and then the flowers and the leaves I actually did in a third dimension. I actually made them outside of the frame and glued them on, so to make that the effect of the flowers and the leaves going onto the frame itself. Where I learned from a guy named Ron Molotsky, who's been dead for about 10 years now, at least, I guess. And he was the first guy I saw. Of course, he's probably not the first guy that did it. It was actually, he would cheaply frame his paintings, and then he would paint part of the scene on the painting onto that frame. That's where I saw him do it. But I expanded that to the next level, you might say. All right, next painting.
Okay.
All right, this frame is the exact same dimensions as the hummingbird we just took down. Did the same thing, tried to make the frame look like brick to match the brick in the painting. This is a cluster of green anoles, a green anole party. And I didn't do a whole lot to it. I just had a little bit of these ground flowers or ground plants, whatever they are, vines, coming out to the outside here.
And they're 3D.
Yeah, I actually made these actually using an actual leaf, and then I coated it with sand. Then I painted it with sand there, and then glued them all on and clear coated the whole thing. Put it all together. Anything else I need to speak? How are my teeth? Do they look like chumleys?
Too shiny. Is that it?
Yep. All right, this particular painting, once again, I did all these probably within a year, I guess, maybe a year and a half. This style that I did here, I did 4 of them like this, which is, it's a pretty shallow. It sits off the wall 3/4 of an inch to this, so it's like 2 inches off the wall to the front of the frame here. But it's same thing. This is all sand. The brown sand, the gray is sand. But on this one, and on a different video, which was been a butterfly and the dragonfly, I found this little molding which was meant to cover up the flat edge of a shelving. Like 3/4 inch shelving. You put this on the flat edge. But I liked it because it's got this little flowers or leaves in it here. And this is the only times I ever actually used paint on the frame, was just to paint this, because once you put sand on it, it took all the distinction of the once you put sand on this little piece, it took all the definition of the leaf off there, so you couldn't tell what it was. So I just left it painted. that's that one.
Okay.
Got it?
Yep.
Always check your hair before you start videoing.
Oh, lock in. Okay.
Okay. Exact same. I did the exact same thing here on this painting. The little Anole lizard here. Exact same dimensions with the same exact, but I just painted a little different. One thing I was. No, I don't even have to go there. One thing is, my paintings are generally a satin or a matte finish that I put on top of them. I put like 4 coats of clear coat on top of the paintings themselves. And then same with out here, only I use a high gloss to finish the, high gloss clear coats to finish all this up. That's that.
So it gives it a
Shiny.
shiny glitter.
Very shiny. Shiny. Yep. So hopefully it's not blinding you right now, so shiny.
Nope, there's no shine at all. Anything else?
Yeah, that's it for this one. How do you know my voice doesn't smell sweet? Okay, my little frogs here. Once again, at least 5 or 6 years old. You can see that the frog's on a caladium leaf, and I did the frame in the shape of a caladium leaf. I smoothed down these edges here. Gotta be careful, it's just barely sitting there to go in here, and then same on the outside, tried to give it a little wiggle of a leaf shape here by saying, like filed off these edges, top, front, and back. Painted it with sand. Anything else?
The name of it?
It's called Frogs on a Caladium Leaf.
Okay.
Let me do go over. Alright, so my purple jellyfish here, you might say is part of the very last things I did on the Cayman Islands. So my Cayman Island inspired paintings that I've done many of here. Threw a lot of purple metal flake onto this, onto the black and purple sand to give this effect. And then I carved one jellyfish out of a chunk of balsa wood, and then I just chopped it in half and had to fill in a little bit in the back here to make up for the slant. But and then just kind of glued them on here, screwed them in, and then added the tentacles here to give it a third dimension, even more of a third dimension. It's a fourth dimension, you might say. And let's see, a fourth dimension. And that's my brother-in-law in the background there. I don't know what they're talking about, but I'm not going to stick my head out there and tell them to shut up. Let's see, tentacles. Oh, what was I about to say? I'm not going to tell you all my materials that I use. I'll just say I use stuff to make this with. That's as far as you get to know.
Ready?
Yep. Okay, this is I called her Isa, the mermaid. She's not really a mermaid in a conventional sense that she's got a fish tail. I gave her a dolphin tail, which makes her the biggest and the most badass mermaid ever. She eats other mermaids for fun. She attacks them and kills them. She's like a leopard seal. Maybe I'll cut that out. Maybe I won't. I kind of turned it into a diorama here a little bit because I kept adding so much stuff to it. The sides are kind of. I tried to make it look like a fish tank, kind of the way I designed it all here, because this kind of looks like columns here, and then I got these little things down, these little specks. Woo! Lean it forward just a tiny little bit. Hopefully I don't drop it. See all the shells on? You can see the shells up there.
Yep.
All right, careful. It's very front heavy. It will tip over. Did it? In any case, we're going to leave it just like that. Threw a lot of, this is actual coral, a lot of seashells. Made these little fish here. Because the one thing that when I did, actually they did this painting in '05. It says down here, '05 over here. So this one's like 12 years old. but I kept trying to improve it because I was not happy with the mermaid, the first part of the mermaid. So I redid the whole mermaid again, not the dolphins, but just the mermaid to make her look a little better. I think she's much better right at the moment. And I promise I will not do any more on her. I promise myself I won't touch her again. Which she probably likes me not touching her. I'm assuming that. What else? What else did I want to say about this? Did I want to say anything else about this?
What's it called?
Ice and the Mermaid. But it does sound a lot like ISIS. That was not why. It's not ISIS-inspired mermaid. All right. Dolphin tail. Oh, it's Isa and her doll friends. Ha ha ha.
Ready?
Yep. Okay. These last two are definitely the last two of my Little Cayman, I should say, inspired paintings. This is an arrow blenny. I would normally see them, I don't know, anything between 40 and 80 feet down. See them on the reefs, kind of darting around here and there, they're kind of fun to watch. They're not that big. They're about an inch long, so it's greatly, I made them much bigger so you could actually see it on a painting. See how smart I am. And the frame, you know, it's nothing, it's all painted with sand again, and I painted along with this one and the next one, the Cayman butterfly. I generally do, these days I do 2 or 3 paintings at the same time, and then when I'm done with them I'll frame them in the same way. So this was just a design I came up with, nothing, don't ask me how, I just started putting these balsa pieces together, and the balsa comes in, you name it, it comes in that size and shape. It comes in, now there must be 50 different sizes and shapes, and I just started fooling around here and threw stuff on there, and I finally said, hey, I kind of like that, and that's how I did this. I'm actually making it out of balsa wood itself, and all these pieces are different pieces, all these components, so there's 1, 2, there's like 3 pieces per side here, and then I just glue them up and coat them with sand.
How many coats?
That's a secret that I'm going to my death with.
Your name of it?
This is an arrow blenny.
And that's the name of it.
Arrow blenny.
Okay.
I don't know that it needs to be any more descriptive than that.
Are they seasonal?
Yeah, they every now and then they come into season, and you can eat them then. No, they are a reef fish. They are a reef blenny. Blennies are fish. These are, instead of a lot of the blennies you'll see in the sand or on top of the coral, these actually stay off of the coral and swim around. Eating things. Eating microscopic sea life. Crustaceans. I'm getting hungry now. Alright, and last but not least is the Cayman butterfly. Flying on top of the some Cayman orchids. I don't know if they're Cayman orchids, but they're orchids anyway. Plenty of orchids in the Caymans. And once again, this butterfly is not actually that size. It's only about 2 inches long. So it's an up close and personal view of the Cayman butterfly. What else do I need to say? It's all sand and balsa wood and glue and a few brads, which are small nails.
That's it?
That's it. That's all I can think of.
The artwork is done by Scott William Goldy.
And once again, I am Scott William Goldy, the artist of all this stuff. I hope you liked the video. If you don't, then I'll try to do better next time.